மனசுக்குள்ள மைக்கேல் ஜாக்சன் தங்கச்சின்னு நினைப்பு. மூஞ்சே பாரு.
Over the last few weeks, I've just been home and continuously binging on series like Succession, The Morning Show, Barry, and Dark. So I never really got the chance to pay attention to my hair or my beard. So today we're going to talk about something. But anyways, we're going to talk about all of those shows and my homeless look in a completely different video. But today, this video is going to be mainly about book suggestions. So if you don't like reading, if you find reading as a boring and intellectual habit, then just get the... Okay, sorry. On a serious note, if you've never read a page in your life, but you'd like to start reading, or if you've already read just a few books and you're looking for a few more recommendations, today I'm going to suggest 6 books that any beginner would find really interesting and easy to read. I'm also going to be leaving the links of all the books in the description down below. So if you're a beginner and if you want to get into reading, this video is just for you. But before that, roll that intro. There are a lot of people who might think, who the wants to read books? I'd rather just watch a movie. If you're one of these guys, this book is for you. Book number 1 is Johnny Gone Down by Karan Bajaj. Here's how the book starts, okay? In some underground location, there's this deadly game of Russian roulette that's going on, where there's a table and there's a gun in the middle and there's one bullet in it. On both sides of the table, there are 2 men, 2 participants who have to take the gun, point it to their head and pull the trigger. And people bet on who's going to survive and who's going to die. And this is where we meet our protagonist, Johnny. He's 40 years old, he's homeless, he's broke, he has an arm missing, and he has a gun to his head and he's just about to pull the trigger. Flashback to around 20 years ago. We see the younger version of the protagonist and his name is Nikhil. He is a young Indian NRI in the US who's just graduated from a very, very prestigious college. He has a job at NASA waiting for him, but just before taking on the job, he agrees to go on this last trip with his friend, his college mate, and things go crazy. How does Nikhil, a young scholar with a promising future, become Johnny, a member of the underworld who is just few minutes away from blowing his own brains out? What happens in these 20 years is a story, and it has action, adventure, action, adventure, thrills, crime, action, adventure, thrills, crime, drama, violence, survivor. Action, adventure, crime, drama, thrills, violence, survival, loss, victory. It's like Forrest Gump meeting Breaking Bad.
You're goddamn right.
Book number 2 is Swami and Friends by R.K. Narayan. You know, sometimes I just think that there's too much negativity around, and you think you need a time machine to take you back to a simpler place and a simpler time. And if you also felt like this, you've got to get this book. Swami and Friends is just as the title describes it. It's about this small boy called Swami and all his adventures that he has with his friends in this fictional town called Malgudi during British rule. He has this friend, Mani, who is like this big bean boy, this big bully. And then there's another friend called Rajan, who is this posh Peter kind of character who speaks a lot of English and who everybody is envious of. He's the son of the police superintendent. And the story is about their friendship, their fights, the school life in that time, their cricket matches. And it also just touches upon how it was like to grow up during the British rule and be part of that education system, which we all are still victim of today. This book is just filled with so much innocence and so much joy, and will definitely make you smile when you think about all the big problems that you used to have as a kid. And what's really nice is that the book may be about kids, and a lot of people might assume that it's a children's book. But honestly, the writer R.K. Narayan, who is one of India's greatest writers, he never treats them as kids, you know. He just treats them as characters with no judgment and makes every little problem in their life, every little conflict seem as important as anything that we are facing today. Read this book and it'll feel like a warm cup of chai on a rainy day, or a glass of cold orange juice on a sunny day. Book number 3 is Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. Out of all my team members in Fully Filmy, there's one guy who I have the most random, at the same time most interesting discussions with.
Hi guys, this is me Najib Totungal from Fully Filmy aka Chet.
Excuse me?
Yes?
What she's telling?
And one of the things that Cheta loves to talk about is and it's always interesting for me to listen to those stories because the Mahabharata is such a versatile story. If you just change the setting or the perspective, it just becomes another unique story of its own. For example, if you see it from Karna's perspective and you set it in the world of crime and the underworld, it becomes Talapati. If you see it from Arjun's perspective and set it in the world of politics, it becomes Rajniti. And then I found this book. So Palace of Illusions is the story of the Mahabharata and it's completely told through the perspective of Draupadi. Right from her birth in the fire to her following the footsteps of her 5 husbands on the way to heaven. She does so much for the sake of the people around her, but at the same time, she keeps her identity, her integrity intact. You get to know her struggles, her strengths, and especially her flaws, which make her very, very real. Okay, one more fun fact. This book and this character has impacted me so much that it's actually influenced me to write one of my own characters, a superhero character set in a completely different universe and a different time. I don't know when you'll get to see that, but hopefully very soon. Book number 4 is Conversations with Maniratnam by Bharadwaj Rangan. Everyone has their favorite filmmakers. Maniratnam had a huge role to play in my love for films, and when we started Fully Filmy, we started with our first official merchandise for OK Kanmani, and that was like a dream come true for me. But speaking of his films, Nayagan, Alepayade, Hiruvar and Talapati are some of my favorite films ever. And when I see those films, I think to myself,
how did he think of this shot? How did he shoot a song like this? How did he define this character? How is he so good at capturing relationships? How is he making me cry like this?
And this book has the answer to all those questions. This book is basically a series of conversations between Bharadwaj Rangan, my favorite film critic of all time, and Maniratnam. And together they break down the magic of filmmaking, one Maniratnam film at a time. Whether you like Maniratnam's films or not, if you like movies or any kind of art, you're definitely going to love this book. And also because the whole book is just a series of conversations, it's much easier to grasp than a traditional novel.
Long and lovely, young and glowing, dark hair free and flowing, Dabur Amla hero.
I think I've already spoken about this book a couple of times, but I just can't recommend it enough. Book number 5, Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. It's definitely one of my favorite books, and I think each and every beginner who's new to reading definitely needs to have this book on their shelf. Each one of us will have at least one person who has deeply impacted our life. Tuesdays with Morrie is one such true story about one such professor who has touched thousands of lives all over the world. And the story explores the relationship between Morrie and his old student Mitch, who has come to meet him after many, many years. It cuts back and forth between their conversations in the present to their conversations in the past, when Mitch was just a young student of Morrie's. So what happens is that Morrie gets diagnosed with ALS disease and almost his entire body becomes paralyzed and he doesn't really have many more days to live. And when Mitch comes to meet him, at first, Mitch as well as us feel sympathy for Morrie. But Morrie's outlook is so different. He has such an optimistic, positive perspective towards life and death that we start questioning ourselves. Are we really living life or just existing? Morrie has at least one punch dialogue per page, and everything he says really hits you and crushes your heart. Take this quote for example. He says, "Everyone knows they're gonna die, but nobody believes it. If we did, we would do things differently." It's a very, very short book, but it has so much emotion that will make you feel instantly better about life. And it has so many lessons that will last you a lifetime. And finally, book number 6 is, okay, let me just get it for you.
scary.
Book number 6 is The Collected Short Stories by Satyajit Ray. And before telling you about this book, I need to tell you about who Satyajit Ray is, in case you didn't know about him or his work. Okay. Satyajit Ray is not only India's but one of the world's greatest filmmakers who ever lived. He's won many awards for his amazing films, which includes the Apu trilogy. And before his death in 1992, he was even awarded an honorary Academy Award for his contribution to cinema. His films and his filmmaking style was so unique, so iconic, that you can see his influence in many Indian filmmakers like Vishal Bhardwaj, Dibakar Banerjee, Sujoy Ghosh, two international filmmakers like Martin Scorsese, Wes Anderson, Danny Boyle, Francis Ford Coppola, Majid Majidi, Steven Spielberg, and even Christopher Nolan. Apart from being one of the world's most legendary filmmakers, Satyajit Ray had a lot of other passions as well. He was an illustrator, a calligrapher, a graphic designer, a music composer, a film critic, and a fiction writer. Ray has probably written hundreds of short stories. This particular book is a collection of 49 short stories, right from comedy to mystery to thriller to adventure to horror to sci-fi to even supernatural. And I'm going to recommend this book to beginners for 3 main reasons. It's written in very simple language, so even if you have a limited vocabulary, you can still enjoy it. You can enjoy any of the stories in any order. Short stories are especially perfect for beginners because in a matter of 10-15 pages you get a brand new story. Even if you read just one story a day, because each story is different, this book really just holds your hand and takes you to a new world every day. And I hate to put a price tag on this, but if you want to talk about value for money, I bought this book for around 500 rupees and it has 49 short stories, and that works out to about just 10 rupees per story by one of the world's greatest storytellers. Yeah, so those were my 6 book recommendations for beginners. I really hope it gets you started on your reading journey, and if you want to get any of those books, once again you can find all the links of the books in the description. You can get it from Amazon. Hopefully it delivers to your area during this time. If you want me to make more videos on books, let me know in the comments below. If you've read any of those books and really enjoyed it, let me know how you found it again in the comments. Hit like and please subscribe and hit the bell icon, because from now I'm going to be putting out a new video every Friday. So thank you so much for watching and thank you for supporting until now. See you next Friday.